Hello, and welcome to my review of Iridescence by Brockhampton. This, of course, being their fourth studio album following the critically and fan acclaimed Saturation trilogy that had just released a year prior in 2017. Straight off the bat, we are down a member, with Amir Van being let go from the group following multiple allegations about all different things that I won't get into in this video. Either way, he's gone. I know a lot of people took that as a major loss, and while it was, I don't think that with him being there, we could have ever had an album that sounded like this, or any of the albums that had come after this. And personally for me, that's almost a gain, I would say, in a sense, because this is my favorite album by them, straight up. It is so damn good to me, and I know a lot of people find this album very divisive, and it can definitely be all over the place, but I think that's part of what makes it so good in my eyes. Straight off the bat, with New Orleans, the intro track, I mean, you can see that things are different. You have this buzzing synth line that goes throughout the track, and you have these hard-hitting drums as well. And you can just tell that everyone on the song is different in a sense. Not bad, but things are different. It's a different sort of energy that they bring to this track. Personally, I love it. I know some people think that the song's just okay, but I don't think there is a minute wasted on this song. It's so good. All the bars hit hard. I personally love Matt's verse the most. Other highlights that I love on this are Jover. You have Joba with just an insane verse of him screaming his heart out with just the raw emotion that he's feeling. Definitely, I would say, from the turmoil that had just sort of come over in their life very rapidly. Also, Tanya, which is a major switch up from a lot of the previous songs that we had heard before. A lot of these songs are very different and distorted, and just the instrumentals are very new to them. But Tanya is a laid back, very somber approach, and it is one of my favorite Brockhampton songs to ever be released. I love Merlin's verse on here. It is so hard hitting and so emotional. I love the vocal sample that comes at the very end. That gives me chills almost every time I hear it. Bareface on the intro is so good. There is not a single verse that is bad on here, I will say. It's just, those are my favorite moments. I also can't, of course, miss San Marcos, which is also another emotional and very heartbreaking song. I mean, you have a choir, a children's choir at the end singing, "I want more out of life than this," saying, you know, the band has finally made it, in a sense. They signed their first record deal, which is sort of talked about in the skit Loophole, in a sense, which I don't mind, surprisingly, because it fits into the narrative. But, you know, so they made it. They got this record deal. Things are going well, despite the loss of a member, but they still want more. This isn't necessarily enough. They are not feeling, I guess, fulfilled, maybe probably emotionally, in their lives at this point, and it's a heartbreaking thing to hear. I mean, a children's choir singing that, but to know that this is how the members were feeling at the time, it's such a good moment. I mean, there again on that track, there's not a single person who misses on it. It's so good. I would say if I did have a moment that I didn't necessarily like on it, it would be that I wish that the beginning beat on Berlin went for a little longer. I do like the beat that comes in the second half, and I like how eclectic and all over the place it is, but that first beat where you have the car engine revving every time the bass hits is so damn good that I wish it went on for longer. Unfortunately, it does not, but it's okay. It doesn't take away from the track. It's something that I could just listen to for so long. Like, that beat is so damn good. I wish it was like 6 minutes long. Also, Tape is such an underrated track that's on here. Personally, I think that all 4 verses are just, I mean, they're A-list. There's no one who doesn't bring their A game on this, especially Joba, who gets a lot of shining moments on this album, as everyone else does, but his verse on here is so good, so, as I keep saying, just, I mean, heartbreaking and emotional. A lot of this album is very emotional. I mean, they were going through a lot with the loss of their friend, and you could just tell that so much was going on. I mean, the album was made in 10 days in Abbey Road, and I think that you can, in a sense, see how they were trying to get all their thoughts put together, and that's why the project is so all over the place. But I think that it being so all over the place is why it works so well. Another thing that is really good is that, as I said earlier, with other members getting to shine more, is that I feel like everyone truly gets equal time on this project. I feel like everyone properly gets their space and their words to be heard on here. There's no one who gets kind of pushed to the wayside and doesn't get heard as much, where we kind of see that on a lot of other projects besides, I would say, this album and Ginger. I feel like every project has members that don't get their shine as much, but this one really hones in on making sure that everyone's voice gets heard, and that's something that I love. I think when you have a group project, that is sort of an essential thing that you need to have, is making sure that everyone gets their moment on it. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more for me to say about this. As I said, I mean, I have a lot of high moments on here. I really don't have very many low moments, as, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. This is my favorite Brockhampton project, as I said before, and personally, I would rate this album perfect. To me, it just hits every aspect that they meant for, and even the things that they maybe weren't even going for, I think it hits on. I think that everything on here is so good, and the emotional weight in each track really shows, and with everything that's going on, you really feel it through this track listing. And I think that's why it's one of my favorite albums of all time, personally. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you on my next review for Ginger, of course, or for their 5th studio album. And I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. See ya.